Hello, folks. Really good to have you share with us on our Tuesday devotion again this week. I hope and pray that things are going well for you over this time. We're still in David's workshop, and often I come in here and look at wonderful implements. But it makes me think, that years ago life wasn't easy. And I was thinking about this washboard and the bath that would have been used, for cleaning, but also for washing of clothes. And, for ladies who used this washboard to wash clothes, it was hard work. It was really hard work. And it wasn't easy, and I'm sure it was very sore on their hands. But it was an important item in the family home in a past age, because washing and the cleaning of clothes was and is important even today. Cleansing. The dirt needed to be cleansed from the clothes, and the washboard was used for cleaning. So I thought about the washboard, I was reminded about what do we use to wash and cleanse ourselves from the wrong things that we do, the sin that we commit. And a past devotion, I mentioned to you about David, the greatest psalm writer of all time, and we sing many of his psalms to this very day. But David himself had a lot of uncleanliness in his life that needed cleansing. One of my favourite psalms in the Bible is written by David in Psalm 51, when, as I've said before, confronted by the prophet Nathan, he knew he needed cleansing. And he prays in Psalm 51 and verse 7, "Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow." The washboard made the shirts white when they were used with soap and perseverance for cleansing, and it was hard. And when we think of our cleansing today, we realize the cost of that cleansing came to us when the Lord Jesus paid the ultimate price for our cleansing, his sacrificial death on the cross of Calvary. And that was hard. That was hard. And when we think of what Jesus endured on the cross, we realize how difficult it was. And yet he died so that we might be forgiven. He died so that we could be cleansed from our uncleanliness, from our dirt, from our sin. Wash me, and I shall be clean. So I thought about this washing board. I was reminded of that verse, "Wash me, and I shall be clean." David knew where to turn for cleansing, and that was to the Lord. And I wonder, do you know that you need to turn to the Lord through his Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, for cleansing? The lovely thing is, and it always brings hope, that we can be cleansed. We can be cleansed from our sin, from our wrong, from our mistakes. But we've something to do. We've an act that needs to be done, and that is to turn to the Lord through faith in his Son, Jesus. Maybe you feel unclean at the moment. None of us are perfect. We all experience sin in our lives. And I plead with you today to turn to the Lord, to turn to Jesus, and seek the cleansing from the precious blood that was shed on the cross of Calvary. There's a lovely hymn often sing in our churches. Have you been to Jesus for the cleansing power? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? Are you trusting fully in his grace this hour? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb?